From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Tuesday morning. We're still tracking the 2 wildfires burning within the region, but all we have to say is that the Tiger Creek fire is still at 89% contained and the Williams Mine fire is still at 42% contained. That's all we have to say about it right now. All right, here's a live look at the Columbia River. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. A little bit later today, there will be mostly sunny skies here. It's going to end up being a beautiful Tuesday. But for right now, it is a very chilly Tuesday morning as we're seeing temperatures in the 30s and 40s in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We're in the 40s in the lower Columbia Basin, low to mid 40s in the foothills of the Blues. So if you did have to break out the ice scraper for this morning, in all likelihood, it would either be in the Kittitas or Yakima valleys. So later today, we'll have highs in the 50s and 60s, mostly sunny skies. It's going to be a light jacket kind of day. We'll see some small shower chances returning into Wednesday, going back to dry weather for Thursday and Friday, even cooler, but then warmer, and then back to wetter weather into Saturday through Monday. I'll show you how much rainfall we're expecting from this storm system. Also, I'll have a look at that hour-by-hour forecast for today, and that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, officials have identified the 2 crew members that were aboard the Navy aircraft that crashed in Yakima County. We have the details. And local voters filing complaints over people collecting ballots who aren't election officials. Emily Goodell with that report is up first. And it's almost time to release the Kraken. They take on the Winnipeg Jets this week. And still ahead, we have how Seattle is doing so far. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Tuesday, October 22nd. Happy Tuesday. We're going to start off in election news this morning. We're just 14 days away from Election Day, and some local voters are filing complaints over people collecting ballots, people who aren't election officials. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell spoke to officials who say voters' main concern is where those ballots are ending up.
I sat down with Yakima County Auditor Charles Ross to talk to him about the complaints he's received so far and what you can and cannot do with a ballot under Washington state law.
We've had people calling in just saying, hey, there's people out there that are pretending to be Republicans gathering ballots or pretending to be Democrats gathering Republican ballots or vice versa and throwing them away.
The auditor's office investigating each complaint.
We've yet to find anything that we see as illegal at this point. But if a person gathers up other people's ballots and gets rid of them, I think they would be looking at having some serious trouble. We've talked to the prosecutor about people mishandling other people's ballots, and we're watching very carefully.
Ross says voters also concerned over people going door to door, collecting ballots and trying to convince people how to vote.
It's not illegal. Campaigns do it often when they're out door knocking. They'll offer to take a person's ballot to the drop box.
What they can't do is pretend to be an elections official, fill out the person's ballot themselves, or attempt to coerce or bribe someone into voting a certain way.
It is not allowable to offer gift or exchange or any kind of tangible prize for handing over your ballot or guaranteeing a vote. That is illegal.
Ross says they've also received complaints about voting parties, where people are invited to come fill out their ballot at a political gathering and leave it with event organizers to turn in.
It's not illegal to do that, but we're getting some concerns and complaints about. They see these stations and there's a lot of political signage around them, and people wonder, what is that? And that is not an official drop site.
The auditor's office says they recommend turning in your ballot yourself, either in the mail or an official ballot box.
If you hand it to someone else that you don't know or that is just out there working a campaign, you're taking a serious risk that your ballot may not ever make it to my office.
Any voters with complaints or concerns can contact the Yakima County Auditor's Office directly. We'll have information about how to do that on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. In a follow-up now, Navy officials have identified the 2 aviators whose fighter jet crashed in Yakima County last week. Lieutenant Commander Lindsay Evans and Lieutenant Serena Willman died after their EA-18G Growler jet crashed October 15th near Mount Rainier. Both pilots were 31 years old. Their commanding officer says they'll be remembered for their heroic actions on their recent deployment, as well as their incredible energy. Officials say Evans and Willman were on a routine training mission. Washington Senator Patty Murray releasing a statement after the pilots were identified, saying in part, "I am so proud of both of these women for their trailblazing careers. Their service has no doubt made a difference, clearing a path for the women who will come after them." And you can read her full statement at applevalleyNewsNow.com. And the Yakima County Search and Rescue Team, which helped in that search, is made up of trained volunteers. Authorities say searching in remote or mountainous areas is especially difficult with no trails, steep terrain, heavy brush, downed trees, and communication issues. Resources used include radios, vehicles, ATVs, dogs, and the volunteers themselves. And they're always looking for more help.
We do accept applications for search and rescue all year long until around November 1st, so that we can gather them all together, do some background checks, call people to see if they still want to be search and rescue members.
The Sheriff's Office holds a search and rescue academy every year from January to April. Turning to Pasco now, we've got an update on the ongoing renovation plans on the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. Officials with the center say as of right now, they're in the middle of working out the communication stages. The first follow-up meeting with the city of Pasco is on Friday at 11:30 a.m. At that meeting, officials will start strategizing how to move forward since the project started more than 2 years ago and they have yet to break ground.
I don't want to dance around the questions. I want to be very specific, very transparent, going and coming from the other side. What can we do in working together to start the renovation? I am exhausted with the reasons why we can't start.
Officials say the upcoming meeting will not be open to the public, and moving forward, they will meet with the city once a month. They also say they will post all updates after the meeting. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the Secretary of State is visiting areas of the Middle East this week, and today he is in Israel. The State Department says they hope the death of Hamas's leader will prompt Israel and Hamas to negotiate. We have more details after the break.
Back to school. That means more kids will be out in traffic when you least expect them. They don't know the rules of the road yet, but you do, so drive safely. This message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Too many politicians are too busy fighting each other, but I just want to get things done to make people's lives better. I'm Maria Cantwell. I led a bipartisan initiative to bring computer chip manufacturing and other supply chains back to America, generating billions in private sector investment to make the chips that run our cars, our appliances, and even our farm equipment, creating jobs, boosting our competitiveness, and lowering costs. It's beginning to work. That's why I approve this message.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
My PTSD, I tried drowning it in alcohol.
Everybody just got the bare minimum of me while I gave myself to alcohol.
As someone who has a drinking disorder, I hit the vet centers. That changed my life.
I mean, if you've already gone through whatever you've gone through, you've got the courage to walk into the VA and get the help you need.
Watch more stories and find resources about alcohol use disorder at maketheconnection.net/alcohol use disorder.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
Fall is in the air, and that means getting back to school, putting outdoor toys away, and getting ready for winter sports. However, if an accident left you sidelined this summer, you should call Allen Brecky Law Offices. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a chilly one out there this morning as we're at 35 for Cle Elum, 40 for Ellensburg. You'll need a heavy jacket there. In all likelihood, you'll need a heavy jacket across the map for this morning. Maybe even an ice scraper because in Yakima we're below 32 degrees, 35 in Toppenish, 34 in Sunnyside, so it could be a little bit of a frosty start there. Just too warm for that in the basin, though, as we're seeing temperatures around 40 degrees. In fact, a little bit warmer in the Tri-Cities, 46, but 40 in Umatilla, 41 for Boardman, 42 up towards the Hanford side. And then for the foothills of the Blues, 30s and 40s, 45 for Walla Walla, 43 for Milton Freewater, and around freezing in those higher places in the Blue Mountains, Meacham and Ukiah in the low 30s. Okay, here's your day planner for today. Temperatures still in the 30s and 40s at 8 this morning, but plenty of sunshine. In fact, plenty of sunshine all throughout the day. We'll still be cool/chilly by lunchtime. Temperatures in the 50s, 56 for the Tri-Cities, 52 for Walla Walla, 53 in Yakima. And then by 4 p.m., temperatures only up around 60 degrees for most spots. Still plenty of sunshine, but yeah, it's going to be a cool day, but it's actually going to be seasonal for late October. So seasonal, mostly sunny, light winds. Very nice day, but we do have some showers coming back into the forecast for tomorrow. I'll time those out, and I'll show you some even better chances for wet weather into this weekend. And all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is visiting areas of the Middle East this week, and today he's in Israel. The State Department says Blinken hopes the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar will prompt Israel and Hamas to negotiate. Many analysts seem skeptical that Blinken will secure a deal. They say it could be difficult for Hamas to negotiate during a transition, and there's no guarantee that a new leader would want peace. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying nothing would deter his country's fight against Hamas and vowing to push forward until the end. The State Department says Blinken also wants to convince Israel to find a diplomatic solution with Hezbollah in Lebanon. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, National First Responders Day is coming up, and a local fire department is receiving funding to enhance fire safety education in a fun way. Riley Fitzgerald with that report in just a few minutes.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Through December 31st, receive rebates up to $1,850 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, I'm Deb Mangeris, and as a longtime CPA, I can assure you, Olympia needs to tighten its belt. That's why I'm running for the House of Representatives. I've been a Wapato resident and apple orchardist all my life, and I have been active for decades in my community, helping make this a better place to live. Now I want to represent you in Olympia, to bring common sense and hardworking values to the Capitol.
Join me November 5th in voting for Deb Mangeris.
Hit by a big truck? It could be from bad air hoses in the brake system. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, and at my law firm, we have a special team that knows how trucks work and what goes wrong. We know how to prove it was the truck's fault. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the experience and knowledge it takes to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Hi, I'm Carrie Isaacson, and I'm running for State Senate from the 16th District. Unlike my opponent, who's aligned with the extreme far right and anti-women's health care, I believe in practical solutions that put people first. I'll fight for better health care and good-paying jobs. I'm a moderate Democrat who believes that our district must be at the table in Olympia, and it's not. Vote Carrie Isaacson State Senate.
A Northwest artist talks about the fall colors of her North Idaho home.
Here you get like the bright orange and yellows, and then you'll see that reflected in the lake. So we just have so many amazing scenes around here.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Halloween is just around the corner.
Oh, yes. Next live, Seth Meyers plus Alessia Cara.
Where's Kelly?
Sorry, I was trying out my bat costume.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a beautiful day. We'll have plenty of sunshine, high temperatures up into the 60s for the most part, although we will be stuck in the upper 50s in the Yakima and Kittitas valleys, but 60s for the lower Columbia Basin, upper 50s in the Blue foothills. Light winds, all in all, just a nice and cool day. You'll need the light jacket for most of the day. And then for tonight, we'll have overnight lows dropping down into the low 30s in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, mid 30s in the lower Columbia Basin, and then upper 30s to mid 40s in the foothills of the Blues. So you would probably need to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. Winds will continue to stay light for tonight, but yeah, just a cold night. And then into tomorrow, we'll have these little shower chances, in all likelihood staying dry for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, but about 20 to 40% chances of wet weather for the basin and also for the foothills. Slightly better chances up in the mountains, and then the time frame of all that would be 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the basin, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. for the foothills. I know that's a pretty broad time frame, but that's going to be the nature of tomorrow's setup, as we'll have these little scattered shower chances trickling in throughout the day, but it's not going to amount to that much at all. So we've established these small chances for wet weather Wednesday, maybe a few showers left over very early in the morning on Thursday, in particular up in the Cascades. But there's nothing small about the shower chances from Saturday through Monday. And here's some of the rainfall amounts we're expecting from that. Maybe upwards of 2 inches of water up in the Cascades, between 1/4 to 1/2 inch of water for the Blue foothills and mountains, maybe 1/10 to 1/4 inch for the valleys. Not much doing at all here in the lower Columbia Basin. And as rain chances go up for this weekend, temperatures will also go up, not by much, as we'll only be about 5 degrees below average for Thursday and Friday. More seasonal stuff for this weekend, so not a whole lot of big fluctuations in temperatures over the next week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small shower chances Wednesday, dry and cooler for Thursday and Friday, but shower chances go back up this weekend. Then in Yakima, dry and cool through Friday, then turning a bit milder and wetter Saturday through Monday. Peep the lows in the mid-20s for Wednesday and Thursday night. Then for Ellensburg, dry with chilly mornings and cool afternoons through Friday, looking much wetter for Saturday through Monday. For Hermiston, a chance of a few showers on Wednesday, dry and crisp Thursday and Friday, but slightly milder and much wetter by this weekend. Then for Walla Walla, just less than a 50-50 shot of seeing wet weather on Wednesday, dry for Thursday and Friday, but chances for wet weather go back up starting on Saturday.
Thank you, Josh. Now, the Gary Sinise Foundation, in partnership with Amazon, is donating new equipment to Franklin County Fire District. GSF and Amazon are providing more than $200,000 in equipment grants across Washington state. But Riley Fitzgerald says in Franklin County, this is unique. She tells us what exactly this money is going towards.
Franklin County Fire District Number 3 is receiving nearly $43,000 for new fire safety inflatables to enhance fire safety education, according to Senior Manager of Legacy Giving, Cam Feldman.
The idea is to deploy these inflatables to schools, community events, open houses here at the department, and to provide teaching and knowledge to younger generations about fire prevention, but also fire safety.
Franklin County Fire District 3 Chief Harris says the interactive fire safety components line up with what the National Fire Protection Agency advises for kids.
And we'll put them into the entrance of the house and they can walk through, and it's all interactive. There's questions. If they want to read, they can read the fire safety messages on the inside, and we can talk to them about fire safety and all the different, everything from plugging extension cords into the wall for your Xbox and too many cords, to cooking safety, microwave, And then when they come out on the other side of it, there's a big old puffy inflatable smoke. So we teach them stay low, crawl, feel the back of the door, and then when they all come out and we talk about going to their meeting place, then they can go and slide down the fire truck.
Chief Harris hopes those who head through it will keep at least one thing in mind about fire safety. The inflatables are so much fun. Also, it's enough to bring out the inner kid in everyone, even Pasco PD's Lieutenant Thomas Groom.
All right, give me the thumbs up, Tom.
Finding departments in rural areas. The Gary Sinise Foundation, our first responder outreach program, we prioritize rural and volunteer fire departments. And here we are in Franklin County, a rural and volunteer fire department.
This event happening as National First Responders Day is coming up next Monday. In Franklin County, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Riley. Now, after the ceremony, the Gary Sinise Foundation served a meal to first responders in the area, and the foundation next heads to Spokane for a similar celebration. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, we're learning more about the death of former One Direction member Liam Payne. What substances were found in his system at the time of his death? Details are coming up.
Democrat candidate Maria Beltran led a liberal Seattle group that tried to defund police and allowed chaos and violence to take over the streets. Like Beltran, House candidates Anna Kennedy and Chelsea Demas oppose initiatives that would lower gas prices, end the capital income tax, and allow you to opt out of the expensive long-term care tax. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Wake up, people! Rotten sleep means rotten moods, rotten backs, rotten health. Rotten breath goes without saying, but you're in luck. Because during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Buena Vista. Any size, any model, and save $100. Or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Too many politicians are too busy fighting each other. But I just want to get things done to make people's lives better. I'm Maria Cantwell. I led a bipartisan initiative to bring computer chip manufacturing and other supply chains back to America, generating billions in private sector investment to make the chips that run our cars, our appliances, and even our farm equipment, creating jobs, boosting our competitiveness, and lowering costs. It's beginning to work. That's why I approve this message.
Let Quantum Legal protect you and be your champion on the legal battleground. Whether it's a fight for justice in the face of criminal accusations, personal injury claims, or workplace accidents, Quantum Legal is your unwavering ally. An aggressive offense is your greatest defense. Quantum Legal is the sword and shield you've been seeking. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
27 years ago, I lived in these apartments, and for 27 years, I've seen streets go without repair. I've seen places like Columbia Fruit Packers lay off workers. Some of my neighbors have driven to Seattle for decent medical care because MAGA extremists like my opponent Deb care more about power and controlling women's bodies than getting results. I am ready to go to the west side because it's time to get results for the east side. I hope to earn your vote.
Fall colors. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're learning more about the death of former One Direction member Liam Payne.
Also, singer Lady Gaga is releasing new music, and a classic horror film is now being made into a TV show. Here's everything you need to know about what's happening in Hollywood.
There's more information on what investigators believe may have contributed to the death of former One Direction star Liam Payne. Sources tell ABC News that substances were found in Liam Payne's system, including crack and pink cocaine, a popular but potentially dangerous party drug.
You can do anything you want. You're Joker.
Lady Gaga is putting the Joker behind her with new music. The pop star's confirmed that she's releasing a new single called Disease on October 25th. It's the first music we'll hear from her 7th album, due in February.
If you don't have a date for the prom next Friday, would you like to go with me?
Stephen King's horror classic Carrie, which has already inspired a film, a TV movie sequel, and a 2013 remake, will now be a TV show. Deadline reports that the book is being turned into an 8-episode series for Amazon. And reggae artist Shaggy with a birthday today. He's 56. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Another Carrie adaptation, but this time a TV show. I think we've had enough. What do you think?
I think I'm just done with like adaptations of different stuff.
Yeah, there's so many.
Just come up with original
there are a lot
ideas.
of books out there that need movies and need TV shows. My favorite one. So
Yeah.
let's get on that.
Also, happy birthday to Shaggy. I
Woohoo.
heard it was a him.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6:30, a local firefighter who has dedicated nearly 4 decades to serving our communities is receiving a statewide honor. Monique Ledesma with that story in the next half hour.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King, the Republican in Olympia, most likely to pass a bill. Senator King uses those relationships to do things like fund a new swimming pool in Yakima's MLK Park and helped Heritage University in the Lower Valley grow. Curtis King helped Toppenish Astria Hospital keep their doors open. And he delivered funding for Pasco's Lewis Street project.
I'm Senator Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
Here in Washington, we love the word and, like socks and sandals, flannels and beanies, wheat fields and mountains. And now with FundHub WA, saving money and helping the climate. Find grants to bring resources and funds to your community. Get incentives to grow your business and transition to clean energy. And discover rebates that will save you money at home and on the go and reduce emissions. Find funding opportunities today at fundhub.wa.gov.
Struggling with persistent pain? Board-certified physiatrist Dr. Ralph Lorenzo is now caring for patients at Prosser Memorial Health's Prosser Clinic. Dr. Lorenzo brings over 30 years' experience in physical medicine and rehabilitation, specializing in the management and treatment of acute and chronic pain conditions. Start a new path in restoring your quality of life and ask your primary care provider about making a referral to see Dr. Lorenzo. This is how we care.
The leaves are falling, and so are the prices at Overturf Kia. Get sporty with a tech-savvy, fuel-efficient 2024 Kia Forte LX sedan with technology package starting at just $21,599. Plus, get 4.49% interest for up to 72 months. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. When they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular.
Kraken, Jets, pregame at 6:30 Thursday, Apple Valley News Now. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica DeLal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, it is a little too chilly out there. 35-ish?
Too bad. It's going to get a little bit colder towards the end of this week.
Don't tell me that.
Yep, and then definitely a little bit colder into December, January, February.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so just get used to it is what I'm trying to say.
I know, I'm trying.
Let's take a live look outside right now. Pasco, this view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. You see the traffic is flowing along just well on I-182 this morning, and there are all the city lights off in the distance. A little bit later today, this is going to be a mostly sunny view. Jessica's right. It is chilly this morning. 46 in the Tri-Cities, 45 for Walla Walla, 41 for Pendleton, but probably just a little bit too warm to have to break out the ice scraper over here, but that might not necessarily be the case in the Kittitas or Yakima Valley, as it could be a little frosty or frozen for this morning. So just something to keep in mind. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. I'm going with heavy jacket stuff for this morning, but a little bit later in the day, just maintaining light jacket weather. As yeah, it will be cool today, but it'll be seasonal and sunny. High temperatures around 60, so 59 for Yakima, 62 in the Tri-Cities, 58 for Walla Walla. Light winds and, you know, retroactively looking back, the reason why our weather's so nice today is because all the rainfall from yesterday, and I'll show you what that rainfall ended up doing to our rainfall deficit. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off this half hour in crime news, authorities have arrested a 69-year-old man from Sunnyside who's accused of child molestation and communicating with minors for immoral purposes. According to court documents, Timothy Bardell admitted to police that he molested 4 young girls aging from infants to toddlers. Bardell was arrested Friday and is currently being held in the Yakima County Jail. Bardell has served as a leader in the Lower Valley Scout troops for many years and has been involved with youth group activities. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says one woman is dead after a suspected DUI crash. The driver, the woman's sister, accused of driving under the influence. The crash happened Sunday just after 6 p.m. on Wilgus Road near Prosser. Authorities say 19-year-old Tatum Smiskin-Ohms was driving her car when she lost control and rolled it. Her passenger, 22-year-old Nairi Smiskin-Ohms, was thrown from the car and died at the scene. Investigators say Tatum was driving a car that had been reported stolen out of Yakima. Tatum was taken to the hospital for minor injuries and then to the Benton County Jail. She's facing a charge of vehicular homicide in her sister's death, as well as other charges. In education news, Hanford Student Media brought 6 students to the All-American High School Film Festival in New York over the weekend. There, the group was nominated in the Teen Indie Awards for Best Micro Movie and the Best Sports Feature category. Along with those nominations, HHS broadcast teacher Cheyenne LaViolet received the All-American High School Film Festival 2024 Teacher of the Year Award. The group of students got to see their film on the big screen at the AMC 25 Empire. They also got to walk Central Park, the Brooklyn Bridge, and even do their daily student broadcast from NYC, where the students did interviews from Times Square. The group left on Thursday, and they're getting home tonight. And coming up tonight, our Riley Fitzgerald will have the chance to sit down with Cheyenne to learn more, and we'll have that tomorrow morning. Now the weather is cooler, the leaves are falling, and it's also time to release the Kraken for this time of year. So later this week, Seattle takes on the Winnipeg Jets, who are undefeated so far this year. The men in Seattle have only won 2 games out of the 9 played against Winnipeg. This year, it's still early in the season, and Seattle is currently on a 2-game win streak with the Kraken's last win against the Jets back in March. Apple Valley News Now is your home to the Seattle Kraken, and you can catch all the games right here all season long. And the matchup will air on ABC Thursday. The action starts at 6:30 p.m. and the puck drops at 7. You can find where to watch at applevalleynewsnow.com. Making a difference, a local firefighter who's dedicated nearly 4 decades to serving our communities is receiving an honor statewide. But as Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma finds out, getting him to open up is about as easy as running into a burning building.
Wasn't something I really saw myself doing for life.
Ben Shear is a firefighter who's been part of the Pasco Fire Department for 37 years. It's about 3 decades longer than he thought he'd be suiting up for the job. But Shear says the spark to be a part of the fire department started as a slow burn, only to grow with intensity.
So it wasn't until we got on a few calls, made a difference in those people's, the rest of their life from that point on, and able to help the community out. And that's when I decided it was a great career.
The desire to help others and be helpful to his community, keeping him going.
Being able to help the community out, being a resource to the community whenever possible, to help mitigate the effects from that emergency and keep on going has been what's been fun for me for the last 35 years.
Throughout his career, he received Firefighter of the Year and an award for the Washington State Fire Marshal's Office. Now, Scheer has been awarded the Washington Fire Educator Lifetime Achievement Award by the Washington State Public Fire Educators.
It's been over 12 years that I've worked with their group, bringing education to firefighters across the state to help educate the community, public information roles that we've done across the community. So that was last week when they presented me with that. And as much as it was a Lifetime Achievement Award for me, it was really an award to all those people that around me that have helped that as well too.
Scheer says in his personal life he's an introvert, but because of his job, when he puts on his uniform, he's in the zone.
Sometimes you have to go outside yourself and be a little bit different. So learned I can actually get out there, interact with people, have a fun time, and engage and interact with the public in a way that I wasn't really capable of before.
One of his favorite things to do, working with the littlest of hands to make the biggest difference.
Some of the school programs that we worked with here in Pasco, and getting out there and working with the schools and the kids to evaluate the programs we were doing to make sure we were getting good education.
Always ready to teach, Scheer has even taught me and other reporters a thing or two throughout his career.
And you're going to keep going until help arrives.
And why is it important for people to follow the beat?
So again, if the heart's going too fast, if you go too fast or if you go too slow, it's not giving the heart a chance to refill with new blood, and so it's not getting new blood out to the body.
Reporting in Pasco, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Monique was doing a great job there, and Scheer says although he isn't doing the public education programs in the PFD, he still plans on being engaged with the community, and he will still help respond to state wildland fires. His official retirement date has not yet been set. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Halloween is just around the corner. We have where you can score some last-minute deals on things like decorations, costumes, and much more. That's coming up in your consumer news.
Be sure and vote. Mail-in ballots must be postmarked by November 5th.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row, so the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Or get 60 months, no interest. The home makeover sale on now at Furniture Row.
You love the internet. But do you love your internet? Is your bundle a bundle of joy? Do you celebrate your contract's anniversary? No? You should meet Ziply Fiber. High-speed fiber optic internet means more freedom, more reliability, more speed on all your family's devices, all at the same time. Happily ever faster. Ziply Fiber. Call 1-888-GO-ZIPLY or visit ziplyfiber.com/GoZiply. Plans as low as $10 a month.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people, who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
Don't put up with rotten sleep during the incredible value sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb, only at Denver Mattress.
A Northwest artist talks about the fall colors of her North Idaho home.
Here you get like the bright orange and yellows, and then you'll see that reflected in the lake. So we just have so many amazing scenes around here.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Halloween is just around the corner.
Oh, yes. Next Live, Seth Meyers plus Alessia Cara.
Where's Kelly?
Sorry, I was trying out my bat costume.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. A little bit later today, we're going to be up into the 50s in Kittitas County, 59 for Ellensburg, 55 in Cle Elum. Plenty of sunshine, light winds overall. And then in the Yakima Valley, we'll see temperatures that'll be just shy of 60 degrees, 59 in Toppenish, 59 in Yakima. Also plenty of sunshine, also light winds. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, some of us actually will breach 60 degrees, 62 for the Tri-Cities, 60 for Benton City, 61 for Umatilla. Also mostly sunny skies, light winds overall. And then in the foothills of the Blues, it's going to be the same thing. Mostly sunny, high temperatures in your 60s, 60 for Milton Freewater, 60 for Pilot Rock, and also, you guessed it, light winds. Now let's take a look back at yesterday's storm system. As heading into the storm system, we were about 80 to 95% below average when it comes to our rainfall for the season. But after the storm system, well, for the valleys, we're still about 80 to 90% below normal. But for the basin, now just 50 to 70% below normal. And for the foothills, just 30 to 40% below normal. So yeah, we're still running a deficit across the map within the viewing area, but we're starting to make some improvements, and I'll show you if we can make more big time improvements over the next 7 days. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In consumer news, talking about my favorite topic, the countdown to Halloween is now entering single digits, but you have to add a lot more zeros to get to how much money people plan to spend on the holiday or observation this year. Emily Schmidt breaks down the spending and where you might find last-minute savings, and that's in our latest Consumer Watch.
This is the time of year where fall is big, like more than 2,500 pounds of pumpkin big. Yet this year, it's also big to downsize.
We see consumers willing to invest in these events, but also looking for ways to be smart with their budget.
The National Retail Federation's annual survey predicts that shoppers may spend around $104 per person, down $4.62 from 2023's record high. So overall spending might be lower, though still billions more than just a decade ago.
But is certainly one that captures consumers' attention and focus and generates a lot of excitement around this time of year.
Retailers say nearly 72% of Americans plan to celebrate Halloween, spending the most on candy. An estimated 67% hand that out. Decorations, a fast-growing category, and costumes.
$5. And on Amazon, the same ones that I was looking at are $13.
The National Retail Federation says 12% of shoppers, especially younger consumers, look for costumes at thrift or secondhand stores. Of course, even before the spookiest Halloween screams fade, winter holidays begin. The NRF predicts retail sales growing around 2.5% to 3.5%.
That could put total retail sales for the last 2 months of this year at a record $989 billion.
That's 85 times the amount predicted for Halloween, suggesting the year's retail treats are still ahead. For Consumer Watch, I'm Emily Schmidt.
And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, the first openly transgender advocate is set to argue before the Supreme Court. This on Tennessee's ban of hormone therapy and puberty blockers for minors. With the details in your morning sprint, but first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222. Liberal Democrats Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas support even no questions asked late-term abortions. They oppose measures that would lower taxes, make gas cheaper, and let you take home more of your paycheck. They would make your streets less safe, raise your gas prices, and encourage your children to disrespect faith, family, and America. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Nutcracker Magical Christmas Ballet celebrates the season with America's favorite holiday tradition. Gather your loved ones and be enchanted by an all-star international cast. returning to the Capitol Theater November 18th and 19th. Tickets at nutcracker.com.
DeLynne's Boutique is a lifestyle boutique that offers locally sourced and established brand items. We feature men's and women's styles with a fresh approach to your look. DeLynne's Boutique brings style that is approachable yet unique, so you can look and feel your best no matter what room you are walking into. Our house brand, Life on the Water, is locally inspired, designed, and printed in Kennewick, Washington. DeLynne's is located in the Marineland Plaza in Kennewick, next to the Village Bistro. You can also shop easily online at dlynnes.com.
70% of all breast cancers are found through self-exams. With early detection, the 5-year survival rate is high. More at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Prosser Memorial Health, now scheduling mammograms with your health and safety in mind. This is how we care.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Buenos dias. I'm Eduardo Garcia, and this is my crew, and we're building this ADU. And we're also building this.
Hey, I'm Tanya Galvez. I work at Par Lumber. And we supply Eddie with all the materials he needs.
We get a lot of satisfaction out of building things right. That is why we get all our materials and supplies from Par.
Par, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a mostly sunny day, a very nice day, but a cool day as will be seasonal. We'll have highs in the upper 50s in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, low 60s for the lower Columbia Basin, and upper 50s for the foothills of the Blues. Then for tonight, it's going to be a cold one as we'll be in the low 30s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, mid 30s in the lower Columbia Basin, upper 30s to mid 40s in the foothills of the Blues. So if you did have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, or the plumbing, in all likelihood, it would be in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. Now into tomorrow, we'll see chances for light showers coming back into the picture. In all likelihood, we keep it dry for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, but anywhere between 20 to 40% chances of showers for the basin and foothills. Slightly better shower chances up in the Cascades. And here's the time frame of that, as we're thinking 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the basin, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. for the foothills. I know that's a pretty broad time frame, but that's going to be the nature of those shower chances for tomorrow. Little scattered showers that'll just kind of trickle in throughout the day. Now, some of those could last into the deep evening, maybe into the wee hours of the morning on Thursday up in the mountains. So that kind of underscores that point right here. But into this weekend, nothing small about these shower chances, as they'll span anywhere between 50 to 70%. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're projecting for now, and this is obviously subject to change. But Saturday through Monday, we could have 2 inches of water up in the Cascades, between 1/4 to 1/2 inch for the foothills and Blues, between 1/10 to 1/4 for the valleys, less than 1/10 of an inch for the basin. So not much doing, unfortunately, here in the Tri-Cities. Will be cooler in a Thursday and Friday, about 5 degrees below average for this time of the year. More seasonal into this weekend, but all in all, no real big fluctuations in temperatures over the next week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small shower chances Wednesday, dry and cooler for Thursday and Friday, but shower chances go back up this weekend. In Yakima, dry and cool through Friday, then turning a bit milder and wetter Saturday through Monday. Peep the lows in the mid-20s for Wednesday and Thursday night. Then for Ellensburg, dry with chilly mornings and cool afternoons through Friday, looking much wetter for Saturday through Monday. Then for Hermiston, a chance for a few showers on Wednesday, dry and crisp Thursday and Friday, but slightly milder and much wetter by this weekend. Then for Walla Walla, just less than a 50-50 shot of seeing wet weather on Wednesday, dry for Thursday and Friday, but chances for wet weather go back up starting on Saturday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
Are radical, irrespectable, undesirable, irresistible sociability. You are the resistance that seeks.
In this morning's GMA First Look, what happened to missing Texas mom Suzanne Simpson? Simpson disappearing shortly after reports of a physical altercation with her husband. He's now facing charges including family violence and unlawful restraint, as well as a federal gun charge. Police spending days going through a landfill for any sign of the missing 51-year-old, but finding nothing.
Searching landfills is extremely difficult, particularly if a number of days or weeks have passed.
Authorities now focusing search efforts on a wooded area just off a highway outside San Antonio as a search and rescue group join officials using advanced technology and equipment. And we'll have the very latest on this urgent investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
Living with your albuterol asthma rescue inhaler? It's a bit of a dinosaur. Albuterol only treats your symptoms, not inflammation, a cause of asthma attacks. Treating symptoms and inflammation with rescue is supported by asthma experts. Finally, there's a modern way to treat symptoms and asthma attacks. AirSupra is the first and only dual-action asthma rescue inhaler FDA approved to treat symptoms and help prevent asthma attacks. AirSupra should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing doesn't improve or worsens, or for serious allergic reactions like rash, mouth or tongue swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing, or chest pain. Using AirSupra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include increased risk of thrush or infections, or heart problems like faster heart rate and higher blood pressure. Welcome to the modern age of dual-action asthma rescue. Ask your doctor if AirSupra is right for you.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:50. It's time for your 6 o'clock morning sprint. We're going to start off in your national headlines. Starting off, an ACLU attorney is set to become the first openly transgender person to argue before the Supreme Court. Trey Strongio will argue before the justices in a challenge to Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. Yesterday, the court agreed to let the ACLU share time in December during oral arguments with the Biden administration, which is also challenging the law. Tennessee's law bans hormone therapy and puberty blockers for minors and imposes civil penalties for doctors who violate the bans. NASA's SpaceX Crew 8 mission will be spending a little extra time on the International Space Station. NASA says a return to Earth could be delayed due to unfavorable weather conditions around the splashdown sites off the coast of Florida. Mission managers say they will keep a close watch on the situation. Current forecasts point to improving conditions as the week goes on. In your business news, the Supreme Court is declining to hear an appeal challenging the structure of the Consumer Product Safety Commission. The appeal from two educational organizations alleged the independent CPSC violates the Constitution because its 5-member board can only be removed by the president for cause. A federal appeals court had ruled against the groups, so the Supreme Court's decision to deny the case leaves the agency structure in place. In your health news, some frozen waffle products are being recalled because they could be contaminated with listeria. The recalled products were sold under various brand names across the U.S., including Walmart and Target. According to the FDA, the issue was discovered through routine testing at a manufacturing facility. The FDA says you should throw out the recalled products or return them to the store for a credit. The Biden administration is proposing what it calls the most significant expansion of contraception coverage under the Affordable Care Act. It would give easier access to over-the-counter contraception, such as Plan B, spermicide, and O-pill. The new rule would eliminate the need for a prescription. Insurers would also have to cover all FDA-approved drugs and drug-led combination products. In your sports news, the Los Angeles Dodgers are heading to the World Series. That's after they beat the Mets 10-5 in Game 6 of National League Championship Series on Sunday. The Dodgers' hitting is the team's not-so-secret weapon this season. 4 RBIs from Sunday's game are due to Tommy Edman. Now we go to your top 5 local stories you need to know this morning. Starting off, Navy officials have identified the 2 aviators whose fighter jet crashed in Yakima County. Lieutenant Commander Lindsay Evans and Lieutenant Serena Willman died after their EA-18G Growler jet crashed October 15th near Mount Rainier. Both pilots were 31 years old. Their commanding officer says they will be remembered for their heroic actions on the recent deployment, as well as their incredible energy. The Yakima County Search and Rescue Team, which helped in that search, is made up of volunteers, and they're always looking for more. To find out how you can join, visit our website. An update on the renovation plans with the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. They're currently in the middle of working on the communication stages. The first follow-up meeting with the City of Pasco is on Friday at 11:30 a.m., where they'll start strategizing how to move forward. It'll not be open to the public, and they will meet with the city once a month. They say they will host all updates after the meeting. Hanford Student Media brought 6 high school students to the All-American High School Film Festival in New York over the weekend. Their group was nominated in the Teen Indie Awards for Best Micro Movie and the Best Sports Feature category. Also, HHS broadcast teacher Cheyenne LaViolet received the festival's Teacher of the Year award. We'll get to hear more about what the students did and more from the teacher tomorrow morning. And it's almost time to release the Kraken. Seattle will take on the Winnipeg Jets, who are undefeated so far this year. The Kraken have only won 2 games out of the 9 played against Winnipeg. Apple Valley News Now is your home to the Seattle Kraken. The matchup will air on ABC. You can watch it right here Thursday. The action starts at 6:30 and the puck drops at 7. Now, workers who have been on the job hunt after the Lamb Weston plant closure in Connell can take part in a job fair. Columbia Basin College and WorkSource are hosting job fairs throughout the week, and this is to help those who have been let go as well as others. There is one today at WSU Tri-Cities and another one in Connell on the 25th. All right, check this out. Talk about being down under. An Australian woman had to be rescued after she fell and got stuck upside down between 2 boulders for 7 hours.
I think you said down under wrong.
What out? Down under. Down under, like crikey.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Well, this image shows how just the woman's feet were all that was visible. The woman who had been walking with friends on a private property in the country town of Laguna when she dropped her phone. She tried to retrieve it, but slipped face first into a crevice.
Good reminder not to have your phone hold over you like that. That is insane. So her friends tried for an hour to free her, but they eventually gave up and called emergency services for help. Rescuers spent the next several hours removing large boulders to get close enough to the woman's feet to pull her out. When she was finally freed, she had only minor scratches and bruising.
But no, she didn't get her phone. It remains trapped between the rocks. And all joking aside, that reminds me a lot of 127 Hours.
Yes, that's the movie I was thinking of too.
Just a reminder, if you go out venturing out to a place like that, have buddies with you. She was lucky in that she had buddies with her and she didn't have to wait out there for 127 hours.
My goodness. And didn't get her phone. So just leave it. Nature's got it. It's not yours anymore.
Definitely.
Speaking of nature, how's it looking outside?
It is looking cold out there for this morning. You might want to break out the ice scraper in portions of the Yakima valleys. We're seeing temperatures there in the low to mid 30s. It's mostly in the low 40s now for the lower Columbia Basin, and then low to mid 40s for the Blue Foothills. So in these locations, just a little bit too warm to have to break out the ice scraper. A little bit later today, we'll be up around 60 degrees. We'll have mostly sunny skies, light winds overall. Small shower chances coming back into the picture for Wednesday and Thursday, but much better rain chances coming back into the picture for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You can see temperatures not really fluctuating all that much over the next week.
Still a little cold for me. Well, thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find the latest on our website. That's applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America is up next. We'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5. Have a good one.